I'm beginning this painting by applying some masking tape on all the edges of the paper. This is just to ensure that there's a proper frame for the painting. If in case you don't have masking tape lying around, use a simple pencil and scale and draw the border if you want. Then I'm taking a flat brush and going over the page with some water. Next thing you want to do is select one corner of your page and apply some paint and then blend that with the water. So paint and water, and you want to blend both of those together. I left the center without any paint and just mixed the water for the contrast in the painting. And the same thing that I did on top, I'm doing at the bottom of the page. Adding more paint will give you more contrast. So the deeper the color of the paint, the more the contrast. Blend all of that properly with water, make sure there are no patches, and then you want to leave that to dry. After you have left it all to dry, only then begin with the next step, because otherwise it'll be a mess. So after this is dried, I took a pencil and then I'm just drawing a tree with branches and no leaves. So after that paint was dried, I took a pencil and sketched out a tree and the branches of the tree. If you are comfortable doing it with a paintbrush directly, then go ahead, but I was kind of iffy about the branches and the shape of the tree in general, so I went ahead and sketched it with a pencil. Next thing you want to do is take black paint and draw over the pencil traces. Now, one tip to make sure your tree looks realistic is make sure that the trunk of the tree is thicker than the branches of the tree, and keep an eye on the pressure you apply on the brush while doing the branches, because that can kind of affect how your tree looks. So here all I'm doing is just going over the branches and just painting. I didn't have a particular structure when it came to the tree. I just kind of did what I felt like, and that's okay, because you don't have to follow a particular realistic tree. It just will look good eventually. You don't have to quite worry about the end result. Now, to give the illusion that there are more trees at the back, I added more water to the black paint. This kind of makes sure that your paint becomes more transparent, and it gives that illusion of more trees being in the background than in the foreground. If you actually see and focus really well, you can see that only the center tree has more of an opaque paint and the trees behind have more of a transparent look to it. This is because, as I said, I added more water. Here I'm just adding birds. It's really simple to draw birds. Just make a V, a sideways V, and it just works. So I made 3 of them, just so that there are some more elements to it. And I'm defining the tree branches a little more, adding a few shadows some places, and just so that it looks a little more realistic. The next thing I did is I took a pencil and I did like a small circle for the moon. If again you're comfortable, go in directly with paint, and I painted that circle in. Make sure your white is not too white, and to ensure this, you can just add a little bit of the background color, which in this case is purple, to the white. And then I added some stars, which are just dots on the paper. I did that, and then for a more natural look, I tapped the brush from like a height of the paper. It's really fun, and I suggest you do that. Then I'm adding some details to the stars, and yeah, that is pretty much it. It's super simple. And the last step is peeling off the tape, which is by far one of the most satisfying steps. If you look at the bottom left, you can see that some paint has seeped through the tape, and I just fixed this later on with some white tape. As you can see, some white tape or white paint really helps. Added some finishing touches, and that is it. Such a simple and pretty drawing ready.